Hey guys, TerrorPUP here, and today we're going to be rebuilding an Apple iMac. I believe it's either from 2008 or 2012. It is a 24-inch iMac. Was given to me by a close friend. He is a big Mac head like I used to be, and because I can't run Mac OS on it anymore, we're going to put Fedora on it. I have many machines running openSUSE. You guys know that I'm a member of openSUSE. I really prefer it. But you don't become a Linux guru by sticking with just Ubuntu or Red Hat or SUSE or Arch. You really need to know all the different flavors, the different package management. Okay, what makes them unique and different? So Fedora is in the Red Hat family because it uses RPM. But to say that would be saying openSUSE is in the Red Hat family because it uses RPMs. The difference is one uses DFS, one uses Zipper, and you can start breaking it down. That one has an awesome tool called YAS, yet another setup tool. So it really pays to understand the differences. I mean, to me, I prefer Debian over Ubuntu, but a lot of people like Ubuntu or they like Mint. These are all in the Debian class of Linux, okay? And, I could go on, but we're going to rebuild this. So, what you see in front of you is the Fedora project, and you have to look up. If you look up Fedora, you're going to get hats, and Fedora hats are nice hats. But you look up the Fedora project, you click on it, and it's going to take you to the project. Now, the version that I was using was 37. It's outdated. I could do upgrades to newer versions, but because I want to do a fresh install, I want to make sure there's no issues. We're going to build an ISO here in a minute. Now, let's talk about something. So, Fedora, like I said, it's in the Red Hat family. And you have to look at how the projects are done. First, you start way over here. You probably can't see my hand, but way over here, you start with Rawhide. And that's where all the packages, all the new stuff is thrown up. The people in the Fedora project, they come, they polish those up, and then they release a release. Okay? And it's still pretty bleeding edge. Rawhide is really, really bleeding edge. In the Debian world, it's SID. And believe it or not, what made Ubuntu more popular than Debian was SID had all the bleeding edge stuff, and the Ubuntu people went and said, oh, we could take these, we can polish them up, and we can release it, and we'll have newer stuff than Debian. Debian's great because Debian's stable. If it had support, I would even go as far as calling Debian an enterprise version of Linux because of how stable it is. So getting back over to our Red Hat camp. So you have Rawhide, and then you have Fedora, okay? And the Fedora guys, great bunch of guys, I know a bunch of them. They come in, they try out some new things like, hey, we're not going to use Yum anymore. We're going to use DNF. And hey, we're going to come out with this new type of filing system and things like that. So they get it all polished up, all working over here. And then Red Hat will come after so many releases and go, you guys have been doing an awesome job. So we'll say from 36 to 40, they're going to come through and they're going to agree on what looks stable, what looks okay, if anything's new, and then they're going to build the next release of Red Hat Enterprise based on the work of Fedora. Now, in the years past, when Red Hat would build theirs, there was CentOS, and CentOS or CentOS. CentOS was really a true clone of Red Hat, just missing all the logos, the support, and things like that. Well, when IBM bought out Red Hat, they were like, well, um, we got to make money, and we're not making money with CentOS. So let's do this. Let's make a rolling distro, something really bleeding edge, and it'll help us see where the packages are. So they made CentOS a rolling distro. And if you don't know what a rolling distro is, it's where you do an update every Friday. I do that with the openSUSE Tumbleweed. You get the latest and greatest. The problem with that is it's not really good for production. So if you're one of these guys who works in a mom and pop shop, small business, used to, yeah, you could grab CentOS, you had Red Hat, and you were stable. Can't do that anymore, okay? And Fedora is probably a lot better option than CentOS because, again, it's a rolling distro. So you go Rawhide, Fedora, Red Hat with CentOS over here, okay? And this is what makes your core of the Red Hat family, okay? And, Oracle used to, they would come in, they would take the Red Hat packages, repackages them as, their own. And, they did some cool things like they have a kernel that can be updated and doesn't have to be rebooted and some other things. And there was Scientific Linux, which was pretty good. So, but if you want to try an enterprise class OS, but you don't have the money to pay for Red Hat, there's two things you can do. Okay. The first one for developers is sign up for Red Hat Develop. Okay. You get 16 seats and you can learn Red Hat. It's a great way of learning. Don't use it for business. And the reason I'm saying that is you're cheating your company and you're cheating Red Hat, because if something breaks and you go to a alternative, say at Alma or Rocky, and you're trying to fix things, they're going to say, you're using Red Hat, go to Red Hat. Red Hat's going to go, you're using this for business, you should be paying us for business. So the Red Hat developers course or program, great for learning, but use it for developing. Use it to learn with. And then they do have some forms that you can do that with. And no, I'm not pro Red Hat. I'm not sponsored by them. Trust me, I'm more of a pain in their butt, but I got to give the devil his due. Okay? And that's being, if you're going to use a commercial software, like Red Hat Enterprise, pay for it. Unless you're a developer, again, and go sign up. If you are a mom and pop and small business, Alma is a free version. It came out when they changed CentOS to a streaming distro. And then there was Rocky Linux. And of the two, I would prefer Rocky. The guy who worked on CentOS, he went and formed it. It's really rock steady, and I like it. I'll be honest. I've tried Alma. It's but if you want to use it. But anyway, so with the iMac that's back over here, Apple releases great hardware. In fact, I know a ton of people who, when Apple was on Intel, they would get a MacBook and they would dual boot it, okay, because the MacBooks ran Windows better than a lot of companies like Dell and Lenovo. Hate to tell you guys that, but yes, it ran it really good. But the problem with Apple is the hipsters have gotten involved. Everybody's, buying it. Apple went away from Intel to the ARM processor. They're on the M2. And you have all this older hardware that it's not getting used. So what I'm doing is called Ecycling, or electronics recycling, and we're going to install a Intel AMD version of Fedora on this iMac. Okay, I could do again openSUSE, but I have a server. I have an iMac that's running. Sorry, not an iMac, a Mac Mini running openSUSE. I have a NUC running openSUSE. I like to be a guy who knows how to use many distros. I could put Debian or Ubuntu on it, but I have tons of Verts running Debian. So I could put Rocky on there. I know I gave you guys the speech, but the problem with Red Hat Rocky being enterprise desktops, they don't offer really cool desktops. I'm sorry to say. In fact, I had a ticket that got shut by stateside support with Red Hat when I'm like, guys, could we please get either Xface or Cinnamon supported? Something that's a little bit more Windows-ish so that normal users can adopt it, and was basically said, no, we're going to use Gnome. Have you ever tried using Red Hat's version of Gnome? I know it sounds like I'm on a rant, but it sucks. Gnome 4 really looks like they decided to take the mantle of Metro and they wanted to, like, one UI to rule them all. The problem is, for someone like myself, I want to be able to use a desktop on Linux that will allow me to have multiple desktops that I can go back and forth. You can't do that with Gnome. Sorry, that's why when Ubuntu is like, oh, we're going to Unity. Unity looked like it had some promises, but it was still trying to do that one UI. And then they're like, oh, we'll go back to Gnome. This is why people like Mate and Cinnamon and all these others, because they freaking hate that you have only one thing that's showing up. Gnome 3 was a great product. Gnome 4 sucks. And, I will debate any Gnome developer on why it sucks and what they could do to make it better. Okay? Because keep in mind this, guys. If it was so great, why do we have Cinnamon, which is essentially looks like Gnome 3? Why do we have Mate? Okay? People weren't happy. People aren't happy with Gnome. You can do all these Gnome experiments. So let's go ahead. I'm getting on a bad rant. So we're going to come over here and we're going to go to Get Fedora. We'll click up there. And we want to come over here to spins. Now, why are we going to the spins? The spins are where you can get a version of Fedora that's not Gnome, okay? Or Gnome. And I really hate, I'm Norwegian. It's Gnome. A Gnome, you're insulting our language, But anyway, so I'm going to go over here. So, whoops, let's go back over here to spins. And that one's tempting. Mate with composite. You know what? We might do that one. But anyway, Cinnamon's here, Xface is here, but Mate's here. I doubt it's going to work on the Mac, so we'll download both of these. So I'm going to come over here, click on this. We're going to hit download. And I'm going to go ahead and get the live ISO. Okay. And this, like I told you, just to be safe, I'm going to come back over here. Whoop, and grab Xface. I love Xface. Very lightweight, very simplistic. If you come from a Mac background, the UI is very Mac-like. It's just awesome. The only other OS that I would say, or sorry, not OS, UI that I really love is that's lightweight. It's Window Maker. If you know what Next OS looked like, After Step, Window Maker, that's Next OS. Very nice. But so we'll go ahead and click download on this. And it's going to take a while, so I'm going to pause the video, okay, because it's going to take a while. Now, what's kind of cool is the Mate, as you saw, only comes out on the AMD, which is a generic name for Intel and AMD processors. But they also have an ARM version, which I should download and try to get working on my libvirt. But we're going to grab this one. Now, these are going to download. One of the things I want to show you guys that I wish Micro Center didn't get rid of is this is a 16 gig 3.1 USB flash drive. Back in the day, you could pick these up for around $2, $3 at most. These are excuse me. These are ideal for burning an OS on. The only other one that was better than this, and I don't have any, was it was green in color, was their 8 gig flash drives. The smallest you can get now is the 32. Still a great price. Okay. But it's a little bit overkill. And this is to kind of show you guys. I know this video isn't sponsored by Micro Center. I just love their products. They have the 64, and then I do have a 256 somewhere, but the 128. These are all great, but we're going to use the 16 gig. When this is done, we're going to use Etcher. I'll go through and I'll show it to you, and we'll do some fast motion. But 16 gig is the ideal USB size. 8 gig is great because, as you can see, okay, this isn't very big. If we come up here, the Xface one was only 1.6 and it's done. The Mate one, which I don't understand why it's going to take an hour, okay, is 2 gigs. Again, overkill for this, but we're gonna use it. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead, pause the video for right now, and we'll come back. Meanwhile, I am gonna go get something to drink. I did not mean to cough on you guys. I'm fixing to cough again really bad. All right, since the Mate download is still going to take about 30 minutes. One of the things we're going to work on while we're waiting is something that you should always do, and we're going to do a backup. Now, yes, I want to wipe this clean, but there are files that I've downloaded. Okay, good example of this are the Fallout wallpapers that I've found over the internet. Okay, so I'm going to move what I can onto here. but I'm also going to set up connections to my my Argon Eon NAS server, so I can get some stuff over there. That's, again, if you haven't seen that video, take a look. It's a great little NAS unit. I got close to 8 terabytes on there, so we're gonna definitely take care of that. Okay, and just to show you guys, you know, let's move it over here. You know, I do have about 186 gigs in my home directory, so I do want to back it up. Okay. I originally built this iMac for my daughter. Wanted her to be able to play Minecraft, but problem that she's having with it is not Minecraft, Roblox. So I know Roblox is a web app, but it just didn't work the way we thought it would. But anyway, onward and upward. Alright, there's a reason I call my house the dog house, besides having the unusual alias of TerrorPUP. This is Snoopy, and as you can see, she's listening to us, as you saw her ear perk up. But she's always around me when I'm working on stuff, which means it's usually going to be a good day. And this is the other member of our pack. This is Rose. She's, well, I can't really call her a puppy. She's going to be 3 this year, but she still acts like a puppy. She's very dependent, and she steals Snoopy's bed all the time. Normally when my daughter's here, she doesn't want to be near me, but when my daughter's not around, suddenly I'm supposed to pay attention to her. Okay, so we're almost done flashing the flash drive, and while it's doing its thing, I wanted to go ahead and give you guys some specs on this. So again, this is an older Mac, so it only has 4 cores on it, which is pretty good. And what I love about it, and this is one of the reasons I want to use it, is it's got 32 gigs of memory. Okay, the other thing that it's got and give me a second, I'm launching Gparted. Okay, it has a 2 terabyte hard drive in it. Now the fan's kind of loud. I probably need to learn how to crack open the container, but this is not a bad piece of equipment to go to waste, because, you know, so many people, they upgrade and then they either sell off these or they donate them. And if you're a home labber like I am, this is, you know, this is beautiful. I could actually use this, okay, for you know, for running some stuff on it, like an Nginx or DNS and things like that. I could make it in the server, but I'm actually going to try to learn how to edit videos in Linux. Okay, now I want to show you something. All right, so when we do this, we're going to need an Apple keyboard. The reason being is when you boot up a Mac, you need to hold down the Option key, and what this will do is, and I'll show you here in a minute, it's going to bring up a menu of the devices that we want to load. Okay? But if you don't have a Mac keyboard, it's almost impossible work. I mean, you probably could figure it out, but a Mac keyboard is going to be your best option. Okay, so the download is done, and I got Etcher up, as you guys can see. So we're going to come over here, we're going to say flash from file, and we're going to select mate with Compass. And for you guys, Compass was really cool back in the day. You could make your desktop look like a cube. You could have multiple windows open. So if you had, let's say, 4, you could use your keyboard to move around, and it was really nice. A little bit, flashy, but it was great. So we're going to select that. And now we're going to select our target, which is not, oh, that's right, because it's in front of me. I was like, where is it? Okay. And it's showing up here now. So there's our USB. Okay. And we're going to hit flash. And this is going to take a couple minutes. So I'm going to go on mute. And then we'll speed this part up. Okay. Get my ugly mug back on camera. And yes, I am an old fogey, thus the glasses. So we're done. We have our USB device. It's been flashed and it is showing that it's ready to go. Unfortunately, the Mac, we're going to pause it here on this one, but the Mac is still doing backups. So when it's done, we will load everything up. But all right, this is looking good. Mug back on camera. And yes, I am an old fogey, thus the glasses. So we're done. We have our USB device. It's been flashed and it is showing that it's ready to go. Unfortunately, the Mac, we're going to pause it here on this one, but the Mac is still doing backups. So when it's done, we will load everything up. But all right, this is looking good. Okay. Remove a couple things. Sorry for the unusual angle. Try to get me more in shot real quick. Normally I don't like to show my big fat self, but so there's a little desk to the side of my main recording area, and this is one of the camera arms I used. A young lady at Micro Center helped me find like a boom mic. It worked for a while, but it stopped working, so I found this on Amazon. Hopefully Micro Center will get something like this. Here we go. Let me do a quick look. All right. The camera that's here, my son got me for Christmas, and this is the first time for me to use recording it. It looks good, I believe. But anyway, I wanted to kind of capture what I'm going to be doing. A lot of this I'm probably going to put on, it's going to be silent because you don't need to watch like a lot of this stuff. And fortunately, I wish it was a better camera angle. So I apologize for that. So flash drive is in the back of this. I'm going to reach behind now, turn on the power button, and you can't see it, but I'm going to be holding this key, okay, the option key, when I press the power. There we go. There, that's a better read. It's booting up, and now it's detected. This is the hard drive, and this is our new Fedora boot. Okay. Actually, no, I think this is the hard drive. This is it. We'll try it. Move the mouse over, press enter, and yes, this is 39. And we're going to go ahead and start. Cane sugar root beer. The last Bespin of America. Root beer's kind of disappearing. All right. Yep. Kind of concerned because normally you would see like something, you know, booting, and I'm going to hit the escape key just to show you guys it is loading. And I'm going to put on my glasses so I can see a little bit. And ignore all the small board stuff. It's been kind of sitting. And that's beautiful. Look at that. Look at that. All right. So we're going to come over here. There's an icon called Install to Hard Drive. We'll come up in a second. So the USB stick that I created is a live image. So you could carry this around your backpack and you could boot up your laptop with it or your desktop and play around with it before you decide to install it. Okay? And English, United States English. Okay, we're going to select the 2 terabytes. I'm going to hit custom. And what I'm going to try to do is reuse the partitions. You hit done. And that looks good. Wow, the home directory is huge. This can't be 4 terabytes. Total space is too big. Okay. I don't see a swap directory. So let's do this. We're going to tell it to keep this mount. Okay. And we're going to keep boot option. Make sure that go ahead and update that. Home, this home directory is going to be a little bit scary, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here. I'm going to remove this. Okay. And I see what he's doing. He called this home directory. What I want to do is I want to create slash. We're going to go ahead and tell it to root. It's not going to do that. So let's see what we do here. Slash. isn't like that. Let's see if I can remove this. Slash. And I'm going to go ahead and create 800 gigabytes. And then we'll go ahead and use this. And we're going to take another part and we'll call it Gnome. I think last time we used auto, that's why we did that. So we'll say okay. We got 32 gigs left. So swap. And then I'm going to make it 16 gigs. If everything's going to go right, it'll go right. Still don't understand why I didn't create a swap last time. We're going to hit up here, done. Accept. All right, so now that looks good. I like to have a root account just because it's a good way to get back into the machine. And I'm not going to allow SSH. And I'm going to go ahead and set up user. It's admin. Go ahead. Done. Okay. Keyboard US, time zone is US. And I'm going to go ahead and hit begin installation. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to mute the mic because this is going to take a little bit and we're going to use some editing magic to make it go fast. So finished installation. That's good. So we're going to come over here. We're going to click this. And I'm going to reach behind here. My USB device. And since this is made, come to systems and we're going to hit shutdown. Now there's a couple things I probably could have done. and probably wish I had done, but it's a little bit too late. I could have installed XRDP, which I've told you guys countless times we should use, and I could have used VNC. So right now we're going to press the power button. That's a good sign. And the screen should turn black here in a second. Here we go, Fedora. And we're off. Now what I'm going to do once it's up, I'm going to go ahead, install XRDP, and then we're going to switch back so you guys can see it, because some of the stuff I'm going to want to do, actually we'll do that in another video. We're done with this video, but I just wanted to show you guys that how to recycle. Now again, I had Fedora 37 on this, okay, and look at that beautiful, beautiful desktop. I had Fedora 37 on that. I could have went to 38, 39. I prefer clean installs. We can do updates and all that later. But now I have a beautiful desktop. We'll do a follow-up video because what I want to show you guys is I want to do like 10 things to do after you install a desktop. With Fedora, you want to install the RPM fuse. That way I can install OBS on this and some other stuff. I'm going to change the editor from Nano to Vim. Sorry guys, Vim is so much better, and I know that's going to start a big fight. Not as big as fight as Emacs versus VI, but I prefer Vim, which is VI improved. And then I'm going to install Luna, Minecraft. We're going to try to get Steam working on there because Proton works beautifully with this. So there are more things we're going to do with this, okay? But for now, this is TerrorPUP. Thank you for watching, and yeah, look, this is probably going to get, I know I was fixing to close out, but by doing what I did, I've given this Mac and this iMac probably another 5 or 6 years from becoming a waste. So if you're out there and a friend of yours has got like a Mac Mini or an iMac, install Linux on it, okay? It works beautifully. Hell, you could even install Windows 10 on that and it should work. I don't think Windows 11 will. There's probably not a TMI security module. But no, e-recycling is probably the best thing we could do for the planet. And people who know me know I'm not one to advocate a lot of stuff like that. But like I said, I am going to enjoy using this Macintosh for, like I said, another 5 or 6 years. I think I've had it for a year. And like I've told you guys this countless times, I don't mind taking donation of hardware. It helps when you don't have a budget. So anyway, there you go. And oh yeah, we're gonna get drivers because this thing still has a DVD player. I actually watch DVDs. Yeah, I'm old. Physical media is the way to go. So many of these corporations are fixing to get us into a point where you will not own what you pay for. So you're going to pay $30 probably for a 4K movie online, and after 3 or 4 years, the corporations are going to delete this. But that's going to be it. Thank you. Again, this was to give this, whoops, sorry, home defense system's about to go off. Anyway, this was to give the this iMac more life and where I can use it. So until next time, this is TerrorPUP. Peace, and forgive Snoopy. Bye.